Gorgeous night for baseball here at the Big A. The Halos coming off a victory last night against the Chicago White Sox. Get ready to play game number 2 of this 3-game set against the visiting American League Central leading White Sox. And that will remain if the White Sox are able to pull one out today. The Tigers won earlier today, so the White Sox kind of in a must-win situation, as are the Angels. As you look at the American League wildcard standings, the Angels with an opportunity to pick up a game in those standings. The Oakland Athletics lost in extra innings to the New York Yankees earlier today. Baltimore took care of the Boston Red Sox yet again in extra innings at Fenway Park. We welcome you inside our broadcast booth. Back to Angels baseball here at Fox Sports West. Victor Rojas along with my partner, Mark Gubas. And, of course, everything is kind of shaping up to be a lot of fun over the last 11 games for the Angels. Of course, last night they got a terrific pitching performance by Ervin Santana. He has been absolutely stellar since the beginning of August, and it kind of carried over once again last night, and the hope is that the starting pitching can continue to keep it rolling.
Yeah, Victor, he was absolutely dominant. 7 innings, only allowed that 1 run, 2 hits allowed, 11 strikeouts, which ties his career high. His changeup was great. His slider was unhittable at times. He was able to change speeds with that. His fastball was very effective, and you could say that for the last month or so for Ervin Santana, that effective fastball. Last 10 starts, 5 hits or less allowed for Ervin. It's been a theme now when you look at the starting pitching for the Angels since August 21st. They're at the top as far as wins, ERA, the walks, the fewest amount of walks. That's the important thing. Mike Butcher's always preached that. Not only guys down in the bullpen, but in particular the starters. Get ahead of the count, utilize your great secondary pitches. Dan Herron has great secondary pitches, especially that split-finger fastball. If he's able to do that and get these White Sox hitters to swing out in front of those pitches, should be effective tonight.
Well, the Halos will be facing an unfamiliar foe in left-hander Jose Quintana. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A, so sit back and relax. We're going to bring you the lineups and the first pitch when we return. Mark and Jack combo for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. By the amazing Hyundai Sonata. Visit your Southern California Hyundai dealer today.
And by 76 Gas. We're on the driver's side.
Well, as we pointed out, it's still warm here in late September, which is absolutely crazy. But you know what? Maybe the baseball continues to fly. The Angels got a big home run by Kendrys Morales yesterday. Mike Trout also chipped in with an incredible home run the opposite way, picking up a couple of extra base hits. And hope that the offense can continue to roll the Angels with an opportunity yet again to pick up another game in the American League wild card, with the Oakland Athletics losing today in extra innings. They had taken the lead in extra innings, a 3-run lead, only to see the Yankees come back and win that ball game. So obviously a huge opportunity for this Angels team, and conversely for the Chicago White Sox, it is a huge game for them. They come into today's action with a game lead in the standings. The Tigers took care of the Minnesota Twins earlier today, and now obviously a loss, and you've got yourselves a tie in the Central.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you look around Major League Baseball, both in the American League and the National League, so many games, so many important games, with only 10, 11 games remaining for most teams. Every game's vital, every pitch, every inning. Season on the line. Good guy to have on the mound for the Angels today certainly is Dan Herron.
Take out the Mazda League leaders as the Angels are getting ready to take the field. There's manager Robin Ventura in his first season at the helm of the Chicago White Sox. And there's the remaining schedule for the 4 teams that are contending. Of course, the Yankees and the Orioles still battling it out for the East. And the Orioles currently have the top spot in that wild card standings. The Yankees, well, you see their remaining schedule. Oakland is the interesting one in that they've got one more Yankee Stadium, and then they've got a 4-game series beginning on Monday against the Texas Rangers, and they will host the Texas Rangers to finish off the season with a 3-game set. Let's check out Robin Ventura's starting 9 for tonight. The White Sox with an 81-69 record have Alejandro De Aza leading things off at center field. It's Kevin Youkilis at third base. Adam Dunn will serve as a DH tonight, while Paul Konerko gets a start at first base and serve as the cleanup hitter. Alex Rios is in right. A.J. Przinsky doing the catching. Diane Viciedo is the left fielder. Alexi Ramirez the shortstop, and Gordon Beckham batting 9th and playing second base as they take on Dan Herron with an 11-11 mark and a 4.41 earned run average.
And throwing the ball so much better of late. Better velocity on the fastball. Has been touching around 90 with the fastballs. Cut fastball has been good. His curveball, which is very effective of late, it should be a very good pitch against these White Sox hitters. 1-1 in his career versus the White Sox with a 3.64 career ERA against the Sox.
Well, let's take a look at the Angels defensively behind Dan Herron tonight. Vernon Wells is in left, Mike Trout is in center, Torrey Hunter in right. The infield has Alberto Callaspo, Eric Ivar, Howie Kendrick, and Albert Pujols from third to first, and Chris IANNETTA behind the plate.
And Dan Herron's been getting a lot more ground balls, and Alberto Callaspo has been very good at third base. Minute 12 errors, turned 17 double plays. Strong throwing arm, good range to his glove side also, which means he's going to be active, especially with Diaza, with his ability to lay down a bunt down the third base line.
Alejandro De Aza to lead things off, and he did so last night at grand fashion with a leadoff home run off of Irvin Santana. One of 2 hits allowed by Irvin all night as Herron delivers a strike. Oh, 1 on the way. Breaking ball, caught the inside corner. An 0-2 count. We'll take a look at our Hyundai key to the game.
Another brick in the wall by Pink Floyd. This is the reason why this Angel club has been playing well of late, is being that wall defense, the starting pitching staff, and Dan Herron taking the hill here tonight.
As it goes down, swinging for the first out of the ball game.
And that's that nasty splitter he's got. Be able to get ahead of the count. That's why Irvin Santana was so effective. Got ahead of the count and utilized an off-speed pitch to get a swing and miss.
Last 4 starts for Dan, a 3-1 record, a 2.16 ERA.
Just 4 walks and 19 strikeouts during those 25 innings pitched.
Kevin Youkilis takes upstairs for ball 1. Youkilis going with the razor. Took off the stash. Done. No moss after going 0 for 4 last night. And he's ahead of the count at 2 balls, no strikes.
Just in case he hits a ground ball in the infield, he thinks he might be faster now.
It's all about aerodynamics.
Yes.
2-0 pitch. There's a strike. Off-speed pitch. 2-1. Euclid is hitting .229, 19 home runs, 59 runs batted in. Native of Cincinnati, Ohio. 2-1. On the corner, 2-2.
They're celebrating in Cincinnati today. They wrapped up the NL Central.
Euclid asking for time. Angels with their win last night. Picked up their 82nd of the year. 82-69 is their overall record. 7.5 back in the West. Euclid bounces this one foul. And the count remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Halos in the month of September, a 12-7 record. Staff ERA of 2.50. Offensively hitting .265 as a team. Another 2-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Euclid. Back-to-back punch-outs for Dan Herod. 2 outs.
Well, that's a good sign when you see that split finger have that type of action. Back-to-back batters for Dan Herod. It looks like a fastball at the knees, and then the bottom drops out, hits the dirt.
Yeah, I think with Dan, too, the split finger pitch, it appears at times that he's got a couple variations of it. As Adam Dunn steps to the plate, you go back to that strikeout of De Aza. The first one that Dunn is down and in. First strikeout of De Aza on that split finger pitch kind of had a screwball type action. It was going down, but away from the left-handed batter. This one to Euclid that he punched out on, more of the traditional split, straight down.
And then the key for Herron in that split finger fastball is always working down, whether it's going laterally down or straight down. If it stays up in the strike zone, that becomes a very hittable pitch.
And that was a big issue for Dan for the better part of the season, the first 5 months of the year. As that one misses outside, 2 balls at a strike. A lot of those pitches not having the bite, just kind of staying up there. As we've talked about, a breaking pitch, a cement mixer breaking pitch. Not necessarily the same type of thing, but not having the bite, thus staying in the hitting zone a lot longer. As Dunn reaches for the off-speed pitch, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And the big thing, but that pitch in particular, you have to be able to get good extension on your throwing arm. And with the back issue that Dan has had at times this year, very difficult to get out in front with that pitch. And healthy of late, which is important not only for himself but for the team.
Check swing, he went around, says Angel Hernandez, and Dan Herron has struck out the side to start this game. Way to the bottom of the first with no score. We'll check out Mike Scioscia starting 9 for the Angels tonight. Mike Trout will lead things off playing center field. Eric Ibar jumps up to the 2 spot. He's the shortstop. Albert Pujols at first. Torrey Hunter in right. Howie Kendrick at second. Alberto Callaspo at third. Mark Trumbull will serve as DH tonight, while Vernon Wells gets to start in left field. And it's Chris IANNETTA doing the catching and batting ninth. They take on the 23-year-old left-hander, native of Barranquilla, Colombia, by the name of Jose Quintana.
And Quintana has thrown the ball well for the most part this year for the White Sox. Fastball 88 to 93 with a lot of movement. He has a cut fastball, a curveball, and a changeup. A lot of hard stuff, though. About 80% of his pitches will either be a variety of fastball or cut fastball.
Trout steps in, hitting .326. And he'll look at his strike. Quintana not an overpowering guy by any stretch of the imagination. But he is capable of getting outs, and in crucial situations can get a big out. He is susceptible to the wild pitch, however. 0-1 pitch. That's down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Trout last night 2 for 3. Double a home run, a strikeout, and a walk.
And Quintana very good in the first half. 4-1 with an ERA a little over 2. Second half is 2-3 with an over 5 ERA.
As you can see, especially with right-handed batters, not afraid to establish that inside part of the plate to right-handed batters, keep them from looking out over the plate. Here's the 2-1. That one's fouled back off the shoulder of Krasinski. Count even at 2-2 now. Best ERAs by rookies, minimum of 20 starts this year. Wade Miley's had a very nice season for the Diamondbacks, as is Jared Parker for the A's. There's Quintana. Full count. Quintana's been both with the Mets organizations and the Yankees organization. Originally signing with the Mets. Pitched 1 season for them. 2006. Did not pitch in 07, having to serve a suspension by Major League Baseball. 3-2 is outside. Leadoff man is on board via the walk. And we'll check out the White Sox defensively behind Quintana. There's Mike Trout takes his place at first base. Viciedo, De Aza, and Rios from left to right in the outfield. Bucalis, Ramirez, Beckham, and Konerko from third to first. And Brzezinski behind the dish.
We talked about Beckham last night at second base. Ramirez at shortstop for the White Sox has one of the strongest throwing arms at that position in the game. He's committed 12 errors so far this year. Hitting percentage of .981.
Howard Ibar steps in. Batting in the 2 spot tonight, hitting .294, 7 home runs at 42 runs batted in. They'll check in on Trout.
Both Ramirez and Beckham are playing up. The anticipation of being in position to be able to turn a double play if a ground ball is hit by Ibar, but also the thought process of a potential bunt here by Ibar.
Shows bunt, pushes it on the first base side. Quintana's only play is to first. He bobbles it, and Ibar will reach.
Just took his eye off the baseball. He had Ibar out. Good bunt by Ibar. Did his job. He's going to advance Trout, but just didn't get a good grip on the baseball. One of those plays too, after a leadoff walk, and then all of a sudden you make a mistake as a pitcher. That's where you're more apt to groove a fastball because you're angry with yourself. And it's not a good guy to have to face when you might groove a fastball now with Pujols up.
It'll go down as a sacrifice bunt and an error on Quintana. So instead of a man in scoring position with 1 out, no out. Runners at first and second for Albert Pujols. There's Albert Pujols, hitting .283 on the year. And he'll look at a strike. 30 home runs, 98 runs batted in for Albert. Last night, 1 for 3, had a 2 RBI single that looped down into shallow left center field. Also drew a walk. Trout with the leadoff walk. Ibar with a sac bunt and an error reaching. He's over at first base. 0-1 pitch. This is ripped foul just in front of Dino Ebel. A little wake-up call for the Angels' third base coach.
He's trying to get a good read and be able to communicate to Mike Trout because Beckham's keeping him really close at second base. So he has to pay attention there, and then that rocket right by him by Pujols.
Now the 0-2. This one's yanked foul, and that's off the screen in front of the Angels dugout.
A lot of pitches on the inner half here against Pujols, whether it's a fastball or cut fastball. His curveball will go in that same plane. Does have a decent changeup, but it doesn't throw a lot of them to go the other way on the outer half against Pujols.
Another 0-2. This one's ripped into the left field corner. That's going to go for extra bases. Over the wall she goes. The Angels have a 1-0 lead as Ivar has to stop at third base. Career double number 500 for Albert Pujols.
An amazing career so far for Albert Pujols. It looked like another cut fastball. He's had some good swings against Quintana here in this at bat. And this time keeps it fair. One hops it into the stands. 45th double this year.
So nobody out. Runners at second and third. A 1-0 Angels lead. Here's Torrey Hunter.
Boy, Albert with 475 career home runs, now 500 career doubles.
Torrey looks at a fastball for a strike.
A lot of hard stuff from Quintana so far, so if you're a hitter, that's what you have to gear up for. Hasn't changed speeds a lot yet. Last 6 starts, 1 and 2 with a 6.75 ERA for him.
0-1 pitch. Torrey pulls this one toward the hole. There's a base hit. Ivar will score. Albert's going to be stopped at third. The throw comes in over the head of Buchholz. Torrey's caught off between first and second, and now in a rundown. Torrey runs himself into an out. He picks up the RBI, his 84th of the year. And Albert remains at third base. 2-0 Angels here in the first.
Boy, just like last night, a ground ball in the hole between short and third for Torrey Hunter. And then caught in with a cutoff by Buchholz. And Buchholz alertly throws it over to Konerko, who gets the out. It's the first out of the inning here.
One out and a man at third. Infield is in. Howie Kendrick at the plate. And the first one is upstairs. Howie had the night off last night. Back in the lineup tonight, hitting .279 with 7 home runs and 58 runs batted in. Inside. It is 2-0. Albert standing at third base. A 2-0 Angels lead here in the first. 2-0 pitch. This one's ripped foul down the right field line and out of play. .29 doubles for Howie Kendrick. 3 triples on the year. And the 2-1 inside. 3 balls and a strike.
Boy, everything coming in at almost exact same plane. You're a right-handed batter. Quintana, fastball, cut fastball. It's been anywhere between 89 and 92 so far. He can time the speed.
And he walked a second walk of the inning. With good runners at the corners now. And Callaspo coming to the plate. We're going to get a visit to the mound. As we talked a little bit in the pregame show, just for it's the White Sox or the Angels, for that matter, because of the time frame, the calendar, and the amount of games left to be played, that it's a short leash for starting pitchers, a short leash for relievers at that point. You saw Jake Peavy last night get taken out of the game after 5 innings. Now, granted, he gave up 5 runs in those 5 innings. But Robin Ventura had seen enough, and that's going to happen. You're going to see a lot of pitching changes the next week to 10 days.
Yeah, because you can't allow a starter to try to fight his way through things. You can't afford to lose a game, so you have to go to the bullpen a little bit early. And Don Cooper, the pitching coach, who's done a great job over the years with the White Sox, will have to communicate with time about the fact is keep working down in the strike zone, but try to think in terms of the outer half of the plate and down.
So Callaspo will step in from the right side of the plate, hitting .252, 10 home runs and 51 runs batted in. He's got Pujols at third, Kendrick at first, and the Angels leading it 2-0. 18 pitches thrown by Quintana. This one's fouled back. 0-1. Albert Pujols picking up career double number 500. One of 19 players in Major League history now to collect 500 doubles, at least 500 doubles, and 400 home runs in a career. Check-in of Howie at first base.
Well, it's amazing when you look at those numbers that Pujols has already accomplished so far, and he still has a lot of years left.
Stan, the man usual, 725 doubles, 475 home runs. 0-1 outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, and I bring up Stan just because of
it's one of his idols.
And connection to St. Louis. Albert picking up his 99th run batted in. Ball on a strike on Callaspo. Kendrick takes off. It's a swing and a miss. And Howie picks up the stolen base. We're way out in front of the off-speed pitch.
I haven't seen many of them yet in this game, and that's why Callaspo was so far out in front of the one. 13 stolen base and 19 attempts for Howie.
Infield back in for the White Sox. A ball and 2 strikes on Alberta with an out. The pitch in the dirt. Nice block by Przinsky. As we pointed out, that Quintana certainly not afraid to throw that cut fastball, hard slider down and into a right-handed batter.
He has 10 wild pitches. You mentioned that earlier. He has at times overthrown both those pitches. It's a lot of wild pitches for just over 127 plus innings pitched.
2-2 on the way. Callaspo loops one out toward left field. Vicieto's coming on. He'll make the catch. Albert stays at third. 2 outs. Good pitch by Quintana in on the hands. Vicieto was playing shallow in left field, so it'll be up to Mark Trumbo, the DH. Trumbo hitting .264, 31 home runs, 87 runs batted in. 0 for 2 yesterday, did draw a walk and scored a run.
Tino was not going to take a chance at Vicieto. He's got 12 outfield assists this year. Strong throwing arm for that position.
And Quintana, even as a left-hander, working for the full windup here. And the first one is in for a strike. A lot of times you get a man at third base, he'll stay from the stretch. With the youngster feeling more comfortable in this position here.
But as a veteran on that third base, might want to fake a run down to third to see if you can make him force a balk.
This is a base hit to right field. Trumbo going the opposite way. Pujols is in to score. Kendrick being waved around. He is in safely. It is a 4-0 Angels lead.
And how good does Mark Trumbo feel with that approach? 2 RBI single, giving him 89 on the year. Picking up Alberto Callaspo, and then getting that big rocket in the right field. Boy, to stay back with his hands, didn't try to do too much with it. When he was going well early in the year, didn't try to do too much, didn't try to generate all the power with the bat speed itself, just allowed the baseball to travel and utilize that power that he has.
89 runs batted in now for Trumbo. 4-0 Angels here in the first. Here's Vernon Wells. Vernon looks at a breaking pitch for a strike. Wells did not play last night, hitting .230, 11 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Oh, 1 pitch off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Quintana's numbers have kind of been on the rise as far as the earned runs are concerned. Going into the month of September, and again, we've talked, especially when we were facing the Oakland Athletics, about young pitchers and working deeper into the season for the first time in a long time, or for some, first time in their career. That's down low. 2 balls and a strike. He's coming off a start in which lasted just 4 innings against the Tigers. Gave up 4 runs on 7 hits. The start before that against the Tigers, 1 run. But he also had a start in early September against Minnesota, in which he allowed 7 runs in 5 innings. And he started in late August against Baltimore, 5 runs. That in 3 2/3 innings. 2-1 pitch. Inside, 3 balls and a strike. So he could be very, very good and dominating to an extent. And then there have been games such as this where he's given up 4 runs here in the first inning and not able to really command the strike zone as of yet.
Yeah, I talked to Robin Ventura about Quintana when we were in Chicago, and he just likes his ability to have all kinds of movement on his fastball, but he's concerned, obviously, as a young pitcher, is he going to keep up that strength?
Vernon takes inside, and there's the 3rd walk issued by the left-hander. And the Angels have batted around here in the first inning.
Even though you have expanded rosters here in the month of September, though, you don't want to have to get down to the bullpen this early in the game, especially with a day game tomorrow.
Dylan Axelrod is first man up today. Chris IANNETTA hitting .255, 8 home runs and 25 runs batted, and he's got a couple of men on base with 2 outs. And he'll look at a strike. IANNETTA last night 1 for 3, a single with a run scored. He's also struck out and hit a fly ball to left field. Quintana's thrown 31 pitches here in the first. Oh, 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 hits allowed, 3 walks, and a sacrifice bunt that Quintana himself played into an error. And that was with Trout at first base, who worked the leadoff walk. Eric dropped one down, and seemed to be a fairly routine sac bunt. It would have been an out, should have been an out. It wasn't. Floodgates have opened up. 2-1. Dan Herron hanging out on the bench. He had himself a 1-2-3 first inning with 3 strikeouts.
And we've said it a couple times this year. As a starting pitcher, you warm up, you throw the ball very effectively in the top of the first, but then you have a long bottom first inning. You want to try to sneak an extra pitch or 2 warming up in between innings.
Two on. This was fouled straight back. Got a fastball to drive. Count even at 2-2.
I think for Quintana so far, he's faced 9 batters. 8 batters he's thrown a first pitch strike to. Yet he still has managed to walk 3 guys in this inning.
Trumbo standing at second, Wells at first, the 2-2. Foul off to the right.
A lot of pitches thrown already, 35.
Another 2-2. IANNETTA fouls it off to the right. PUJOLS with an RBI ground rule double. Torrey Hunter with an RBI single. It's kind of a rundown between first and second for the first out. And with 2 outs, Mark Trumbo delivering a 2 RBI single to right field to make it 4-0 Angels here in the first. This one chopped to the ground. Over to Ramirez, the shortstop. They go the short way to finish off this inning. But the Angels strike for 4 as we head to the second. The Angels with a 4-0 lead. White Sox to send up Konerko, Rios, and Brzezinski here in the second inning to face Stan Herron. The 1-2-3 first, 3 strikeouts, all swinging. Paul Konerko was a DH last night. Ended up going 0 for 4. 302, 23 home runs, 69 runs batted in. First one is in for a strike. Herron threw 14 pitches in that first inning, picking up those 3 strikeouts. Quintana threw 37 pitches. No 1 on the way. Inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another solid season for Paul Konerko for the Chicago White Sox. He and Adam Dunn alternate that first base DH spot. Swing and a miss, good breaking ball.
He's been consistently keeping that batting average up. The power numbers stay the same, although he's been banged up a little bit this year. Whereas his health, still very solid numbers for Konerko.
The 1-2, up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Other scores of importance in the American League. Tampa Bay up 11-4 against the Toronto Blue Jays. Tampa Bay is just behind the Angels in the wild card standings. This one's pulled down the line, hit pretty well, and that's going to get out of here. A home run for Paul Konerko. 24th of the year. And the Sox get on the board as the Angels lead us 4-1.
Konerko did a nice job as far as bringing his hands in. That fastball ran inside. After a tough slider and another cut fastball away, Herron runs a fastball in. Konerko strong, turns on it. 24th home run, 70th RBI. That fastball's off the plate. He brought his hands in very well and hooked it down the line for a home run.
Right-handers have hit Herron to a .322 batting average. 26th home run that Herron has allowed. And Rios looks at a strike. See Dan still not happy with that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rios hitting .298, 24 home runs and 87 runs batted in. He had an 0 for 4 game as well last night. 1-2.
And I think the reason why Dan has struggled against right-handed batters this year is because of that fastball inside, not as effective as it has been in the past. And Mike Butcher's trying to get him to throw the fastball more so, not necessarily to get a hitter out, but to show inside and then get him out of the way.
Rios thought about it. 2-2. Harry doesn't waste a whole lot of time on the mound. This one back toward the middle. Howie is right there. 1 away. Hey, tomorrow is Fan Appreciation Day. The Angels will be taking on the White Sox at a 12:35 start. All fans will have a chance to win great prizes like Pechanga vacation packages, Oakley sunglasses, Microsoft Xboxes, and more. Purchase your tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com.
Okay, now how are you going to bring that together tonight?
Well, I mean, you could be hanging out at one of the tables at Pechanga Resort while wearing your Oakley sunglasses, raking in the dough.
Exactly. That way I'm not going to give up if I feel good about my cards.
And when you win, you can get back to your hotel room and play your Xbox.
Yes.
It's all about tying it together,
yes,
my man.
It is. A lot of great prizes tomorrow.
1 ball, no strikes on A.J. Pierzynski, hitting .279 this season. Count even at a ball and a strike. 26 home runs for A.J., 74 runs batted in. This one's ripped to right. Torrey back a couple of steps, is there. 2 outs. And that's the pitch for Pierzynski that you've got to be very careful with. Pull happy guy. Has the ability to hit the ball the opposite way, but he likes to pull the ball. Konerko much the same way.
Exactly. And that ball in Chicago might be a little scarier. That jet stream out the right field, the right center. But here at the Big A, gets knocked down, and Torrey's able to make the play.
So 2 outs and nobody on base for Viciedo, the left fielder. 1 ball, no strikes. Viciedo hitting .252 with 21 home runs. That one misses off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. 66 runs batted in for the man that Hawk Harrelson calls the tank. 2-1.
And he likes to jump on a fastball, but if you could throw your slider or curveball close to the strike zone, you can get a swing and miss from him. Doesn't miss many fastballs.
Just missed in. little sinking action to it. 3 balls and 1 strike. 4-1 Angels here at the top of the second. Pulls this one over to third. Callaspo plays the short hop. Across the diamond it goes, and the inning comes to an end. White Sox get on the board, courtesy of the Konerko home run. We'll head to the bottom of the second. 4-1 Angels. Top of the order coming up against Jose Quintana. Trout, Ibar, and Pujols. Mike swinging at the first one, fouls it back. Trout drew the leadoff walk in the bottom of the first inning and came around to score one of the first runs, the first run for the Angels. And for Mike, that is the 121st run he has scored in his 129th game. 0-2.
It's so important as an offense right now to not let Quintana get comfortable on the mound. The White Sox responded back. They got one run, the home run from Konerko. So you want, as an offense, to go right back and go on the offensive.
Brzezinski setting up back outside. That is a called strike 3 on the outside corner. And Quintana picks up his first punch out of the game. 1 out for Eric Ibar.
It goes fastball and it's off the plate at 91.
Angel Hernandez calling the balls and strikes tonight. Ed Hickox at first, Chris Conroy at second, Mark Carlson over at third base. Umpire and crew for tonight. No official at bat for Ibar since he was credited with a sacrifice bunt in the first inning. Came around to score. Oh, the breaking pitch here. It's bounced foul. The foot of Eric Ibar. Hernandez originally came out, didn't call it a foul ball, kept staring at Eric Ibar, and then eventually made the call. So it's an 0-2 count. That's why A.J. Brzezinski's kind of trying to follow Angel.
And Brzezinski saying, hey, that ball didn't get his foot.
And Robin's going to come out and ask as well. But I can understand from the White Sox standpoint that a lot of times you'll get an umpire that makes the call immediately or doesn't make a call, then asks for help from the first base umpire. But Angel kind of waited for a moment, then made the decision to call it a foul ball. Tough to tell there.
Well, it didn't look like it got his foot, but Ibar sold it well. It's a real difficult call. It's a home plate umpire. That's why you'll ask for help on that. But he called it right away off his foot.
Oh, 2 count with 1 out, nobody on here in the second. This one popped up, shallow center, toward back up. The second baseman is there. 2 outs. Take a look at our remaining schedule. 4 more here at the Big A for the Angels tomorrow afternoon at 12:35. An off day on Monday, then a 3-game set against the Seattle Mariners beginning on Tuesday night. That's a Tuesday and Wednesday night game. Thursday afternoon game, right? Thursday
afternoon game before we
go
to Texas.
Texas. Here's Albert. Takes outside. Pujols with the double. His 500th career double. 45th of this season. Brought home a run. 99th run batted in. 1-0 pitch. This one popped up. So Quintana goes into the dugout, gets the homework done, and retires the side in order in the bottom of the second. We will head to the third. Halos up 4-1. White Sox got one back on the Konerko home run of the second. That's where we stand right now. Starting the third, it'll be Ramirez, Beckham, and De Aza. Here in the third inning. Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop, hitting .269 with 9 home runs, 69 runs batted in. Shows bunt, looks at the strike. Ramirez last night going 1 for 3. With a rocket into center field for a base hit. He likes the fastball as well. Now 1 pitch. This one's looped out towards center. On the way. Hey, the Subway Surprise on the line is the wild card. The Angels with an opportunity to pick up yet another game in the American League wild card standings, with Oakland having lost to the Yankees in extra innings earlier today. So if the Angels can hang on and win this one, they would find themselves 2.5 back of that second spot on the wild card. Baltimore won. They took care of the Red Sox in extra innings themselves. They like the extra innings.
That is amazing. 16 straight. Sometimes that's one of those misleading statistics. 16 straight. You had an opportunity to close it out before they got the extra innings, or the offense hasn't been there. I mean, when you look at their difference between the runs allowed as far as runs scored, they've allowed more runs than they have scored as a team. Yet it's amazing what they've done.
Wouldn't it be a lot easier to get it done within 9?
Yeah.
Or 8.5.
Save your bullpen a little bit.
This one lined to short, 2 outs. Yeah, I wonder if Buck Showalter has changed his mind about the expanded rosters in September, considering the amount of games and innings.
He doesn't like it, but I know
sure
he does now.
He loves it right now.
Yeah, he does.
He is a fan of convenience.
They bring up another one of their phenom young pitchers. This came up.
Dylan Bundy.
Exactly.
This one bunted up the third base line. Callasco is going to let it roll, and it's going to be an infield base hit for De Aza. 2-out knock. Second hit given up by Herron. So with 2 outs, De Aza's on board, and Kevin Euclid is coming up.
Most times, if you're bunting with 2 outs, you have speed. You got to think in terms of trying to steal a base right away. There's 24 stolen bases. Herron with 1 pickoff this year.
Euclid struck out in the first inning. 3 punch outs for Herron in that first, the only 3 of the game. Game in Tampa is now in the 7th inning. Seattle still leading Texas 1-0. That game in third at Safeco. Oakland's going through their bullpen as well of late too. A lot of big games and long games.
Game today.
Yeah, Brett Anderson pretty much done for the rest of the years. This one's lined over the head of Ibar in the left field. 2-out base hit by Euclid. Will bring the tying run to the plate. Now done. Anderson done with an oblique strain that he suffered the other day against the Tigers.
And Bob Melvin has to mix and match with all those young pitchers he has in that rotation, and the concerns about innings pitched for him.
So Herron retired Ramirez and Beckham rather easily. Bunt base hit by De Aza. Now the single by Euclid brings up Dunn. Chased a breaking ball in the first inning to strike out. Fastball missing yet. It's 203rd strikeout of the year for Adam Dunn. 39 home runs and 90 runs batted in for him. Good speed on the bases as far as the man at second base at De Aza. Swinging a miss. Kind of like the swing underwater. Committing to that breaking pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's always the key against Adam Dunn, to make him swing at your pitch out of the strike zone, preferably on around the ground, or you go upstairs above the letters.
Swing and a miss. Ibar wanted a pickoff attempt. He was standing at second base, but Heron went home. 1-2. Howie Kendrick's out at shallow right as they play the overshift, and that's why Ibar is where he's positioned.
When you're facing Adam Dunn as a pitcher, your focus is on Adam Dunn.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Dunn. The inning comes to an end. We'll head to the bottom of the third. The Angels up 4-1. Produced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Absolutely gorgeous sky up above the Big A. Jose Quintana back to work, had himself an easy second inning, a 1-2-3 frame. He'll face Torrey Hunter, Howie Kendrick, and Alberto Callaspo here in the third. And Torrey swinging first pitch. Rounds one to Euclid, one away.
Well, I noticed the conversations after that first inning by Euclid, Brzezinski, with Quintana about the fact that a lot of stuff hard, whether it was a hard cutter in or hard fastball in. Now you've noticed over the last inning in the third, a lot of slow breaking balls and ground balls. You've seen a couple now to Euclid, change-ups, off speed and living away.
1 ball, no strikes. And the fact is that Quintana, I mean, his best bolt is 90 miles per hour. You could still look away and react in on a fastball that's coming in on you.
But if you're throwing 90 and you're staying inside, you're looking for trouble. If you stay in there every pitch.
Kendrick worked a walk, stole a base, and scored a run in the first. No AB for him tonight as of yet. Foul at the plate, 1-2, and again trying to pull a breaking pitch.
Well, the approach against that pitcher and a number of the pitches we've seen from Quintana since that first, you have to think up the middle to right center field if you're a right-handed batter.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Back up the middle. There's a base hit, and that's the approach you've got to take. Man on with an out, and Callaspo coming up. Hey, season seat deposits for the 2013 season are now being accepted. Place your deposit now and receive priority for next season. For more information and to place that deposit, just call 888-796-HALO or log on at angels.com/season seats. And if you need help with that deposit, just call Gooby.
I'll tell them where to get it from you.
That was supposed to be a surprise for Fan Appreciation Day tomorrow. We were going to announce that tomorrow.
Don't tell anybody.
Callaspo fouls it off to the right, and it's an 0-1 count. Alberto hit a fly ball to shallow left field in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Count evened up now. Quintana spinning last year with Tampa in the Yankees system, the Florida State League. Good numbers there, 10-2 mark, a 2.91 ERA at 12 starts, 30-plus appearances. The White Sox signed him in the offseason, a minor league deal. Here he is.
He has a couple pickoffs this year also, and a quick move to first. And you can definitely see he's a guy that certainly the back end of the rotation could be very solid for the White Sox for years to come.
The 1-1 pitch. Up and away. 2 balls and a strike on Callaspo. Mark Trumbo on deck. The Angels batted around in the first inning. Went down in order in the second. Quintana got the first down here in the third. Now with Kendrick. The 2-strike single up the middle. Stands at first.
Callaspo, long look down at Dino Weeble. It's a hit and run count, although Mike Scioscia doesn't put that on too often with a left-handed pitcher.
I understand that that's kind of like the norm. It's kind of like a unwritten rule in the manager's guide to managing, but in a hit and run situation, you're not trying to steal second base, so you can wait as long as possible as a base runner until that pitcher commits to home, especially in a hit and run count. Now if you're a straight steal, I understand that.
Yeah, you're just looking to make contact on that.
Yeah, you're not necessarily going. You don't have to go on first movement from a left-handed pitcher. Odds are they're not going to pitch out 2-1. This one's lined back up the middle, almost decapitates Quintana. Kendrick's trying to go to third base. A throw from Deaza is cut off, and now Callaspo is between first and second. Well, the Angels just keep running themselves out of innings as Callaspo makes another base running blunder. Second of the night. Torrey Hunter did it early on. There is no reason whatsoever to try to take that extra base. You've got first and third and 1 out. Now you've got 2 outs.
Well, because of that now as a pitcher, it changes the way you're going to go after a hitter. Well hit. Great approach. Back-to-back hitters. Howie with the base hit up the middle. Callaspo base hit up the middle.
You're afforded 27 outs in a 9-inning game. You can't give them away.
Especially when you're facing a team like the White Sox with the number of power hitters they have.
So Quintana will work from the full windup with 2 outs. Trumbo looks at a strike. He had a base hit to right field. That brought home 2 runs in the first.
And Howie trying to get Quintana's attention going down the line. See if he can create a balk.
Down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. One. Pulled foul, 1-2.
Now let's take a look at our AT&T Uverse replay in the first inning. Mark Trumbo had a great approach there against Quintana with 2 men on. Let the baseball travel and hit the ball very well the other way, driving in 2, giving him now 89 RBI on the season and trusting that power that he has.
And tight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Trouble now with 89 runs batted in on the year. Gets a piece of this one. Just fouls it back.
Pretty good job of staying alive in this at bat. That was a tough pitch. After a fastball in off the plate.
Two. Got him swinging. The inning comes to an end. We've played 3 and the Angels maintain a 4-1 lead. Aaron to face Canerco, Rios, and Przinsky here in the 4th. Same guys that he faced in the 2nd, and Canerco touched him for a leadoff home run. So the White Sox first baseman is 1 for 1. His 24th of the year, picking up his 70th run batted in.
Came right back inside again with a fastball.
It's 2 balls and no strikes. 4 strikeouts, no walks, 3 hits allowed by Herron. Here's the 2-0. Strike on the corner, 2-1.
We got a good angle there from Dan Herron as far as pushing off the pitching rubbers. Mike Butcher about a 3 to 4 weeks ago tried to get him more of a drop and drive as far as that back leg to be able to generate more velocity on the fastball, better sink on the split finger too.
Lifted in the air, down the line, long run for Torrey. Still coming on. Makes the catch. 1 out. That ball was up in the air for a long time.
And you can see it from this angle right here for Dan Herron. That back leg trying to be able to bend the back knee and drive towards home allows him to get better leverage as far as working downhill and better velocity on the fastball. Late swing from Canerco gets that first out.
Here's Rios, who grounded out to Howie Kendrick in the 2nd. One ball, no strikes. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error, 2 left on for the White Sox. 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 left on for the Angels. This was fouled back off of IANNETTA. Count evened up. Angels with 4 runs in that first inning, and Be interesting. Would have been interesting to see how innings have played out in the first and in the third, if not with some impromptu base running. This one's fouled back, 1-2.
Especially when you have a young pitcher on the hill who has struggled. You show what he's done his last 4 games with that ERA around 9. The last 6 games, upper 6s. So it's been a while for Quintana to be consistent. And then when all of a sudden things go against you, you walk the leadoff batter, you make a mistake on a bunt.
You want as much stress as possible on the young man.
Because that doubt comes into your mind, especially when you're a young pitcher. You don't have anything to tap into as far as past successes.
The 1-2 again. Reaching for this one, punches it into right field. So Rios takes what's given to him, picks up a knock with 1 out here in the 4th. The 4th hit allowed by Heron. Brings up Przinsky. It's now time for ATT trivia question. Robin Turf, 5th all time with 18 career grand slams. Which 4 players have hit more? Robin, of course, with the infamous grand slam single in the postseason.
Was it the Mets at that point?
That was with the New York Mets. Przinsky pulls one over to second. Should be a double play. Inning over. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. The Angels with a 4-1 lead.
Angels baseball is brought to you by the new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit AT&T.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. By CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax. Start here. And by Hawaiian Gardens Casino. Get your game on.
Angels with a 4-1 lead as we start the bottom of the 4th inning. Vernon Wells lead things off as the Angels send up 8-9-1 against Jose Quintana. Native of Colombia, very good friends with Ernesto Frieri, fellow countryman. 0-1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wells had a walk in the first, one of 3 issued by Quintana to go with the 2 strikeouts tonight. 2-1.
A lot of pitches away for Quintana since the first inning. Very effective, like staying on the outer half.
2-2. It's pulled foul. 2-2. Fell off to the right. Chris IANNETTA on deck. Mike Trout after him. 2-2 pitch. This one's pulled down the line and is foul. Out of play.
Keep trying to sneak something on the inner half against Vernon. He's timing it pretty well. Going to try a change up here now.
Bouncer toward the middle. Beckham to his right has a little bit of a bobble. Wells lugs it out for an infield base hit. Boy, that little hesitation there, and the transfer from glove to bare hand allows the Angels to get the leadoff man on.
Boy, Beckham's been so good at second base, shading him up the middle. Couldn't get the baseball, couldn't get the grip. And the high throw, off balance throw, couldn't get as much on it. Allowed Vernon to get an infield hit.
Here's IANNETTA, rolled into a fielder's choice in the first. He's 0 for 1. Quintana about to throw his 70th pitch of the night. 44 have been strikes. An infield single by Wells, the 6th hit allowed by the left-hander. One-0 outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
There seems to be a different pitcher when he's pitching out of the stretch. More difficult for him to hit his spots. That's why you see him when a man on third going through the full windup.
Wells with 3 stolen bases this year. He's been caught once. This being his 73rd game. 2 balls and no strikes on IANNETTA. Nobody out here in the 4th. A strike. Chris can't believe it. Looks back to Angel Hernandez. 2-1.
Called a couple of those pitches off the plate a little bit high.
Throw over to first. Nope. Outside. 3-1.
Try to go fastball away here. See if Chris can go the other way.
Fouled it. A full count. Jan Marinez, the right-hander, warming up. Full count. Wells doesn't go. IANNETTA lays off. Did not go, says the first base umpire, Ed Hickok. So the first two have reached for the Angels here in the fourth. Let's go back to our AT&T trivia question. Nothing to do is Robin Ventura. Fifth all-time with 18 career grand slams. Which four players have hit more? Lou Gehrig with 23, along with Alex Rodriguez. Alex did that earlier this year. Manny Ramirez, and then Eddie Murray. A walk by Quintana of Chris IANNETTA, the fourth he's issued. And now Mike Trout steps up. He's walked and has struck out.
Yeah, most leadoff hitters would be up, asked to square around, but Mike Trout is not like most leadoff hitters.
Looks at a strike. Very similar to the pitch in which he struck out on in the second. Outfield somewhat shallow with Trout at the plate, Viciedo, De Aza, and Rios, all three of them. Wells standing at second, IANNETTA at first. Time is called. Pickoff attempt at first base, and that's a balk. They're calling a balk. Ed Hickox calls the balk, and the runners will advance. That's a great play if you can execute it. Robin Ventura wants an explanation.
Well, you see a lot of those calls at the high school level where you try to catch a base runner off, drifting a little bit too far from first base. It's not a bad play to put on. We'll see right here if you're able to cross the pitching rubber. Well, that's a play put on from the bench.
Now, the only thing that I can imagine that Ed Hickox is saying is that Paul Konerko never broke towards first base. So you're not holding a base runner on. That's the only thing that I can think of, and that the throw is received there. Then at the last minute he breaks.
But also his foot was very close to the pitching rubber. If he crosses that rubber at any point, he has to go home. Well, that's one of those plays put on by the manager to be able to have himself in position to get a quick out like that. And he's trying to tell Konerko was making a move towards first base. He's going back to the bag.
Right. But it was a delayed start. And I'll give you a perfect example. There are pitchers in that type of situation that think there's a pickoff attempt on, and they'll just throw it to the first baseman. That's a balk. The argument seems to be is that Konerko never really broke until the last minute. And he clearly called the balk, and Alfredo Griffin pointed it out as well.
And Ventura's going to be thrown out anyhow. He got thrown out of the game. Anytime you argue a balk, you're pretty much automatically ejected.
So second and third now, nobody out.
That's one of those plays you just put on. You worked in spring training with. You don't have many opportunities to do so. But with Trout at the plate and IANNETTA at first and Vernon Wells at second, that's a perfect time to try that.
Yeah, it was an out. I mean, Konerko applied the tag. That would have been an out. Had it not been called a
sold it well.
And if you remember, right before that, there was time was called, and Alexi Ramirez in the middle infield were talking, so it throws base runners off as if perhaps there's going to be a pickoff attempt at second base. But the Angels get the call. Balk puts runners at second and third. Nobody out. An 0-1 count on Mike Trout. The infield is in for the White Sox. 4-1 Angels here in the fourth. Oh, 1 pitch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The second ball called on Quintana this year.
1-1 pitch. Takes a breaking ball. Angel Hernandez brings it up 1-2. Vernon Wells standing at third, IANNETTA at second. Now the 1-2. Fouled back, got a fastball. Count remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Trout trying to get a pitch that's elevated enough to hit at least a fly ball. Get the job done.
Down and in. Diaz in center field. He's moved back a little bit deeper. Infield still playing in for the White Sox. 2-2 from Quintana. Breaking ball, just got a piece of it. Keeps his at-bat alive. Another good crowd tonight. Last night, just over 39,000. Last weekend of the regular season for the Angels here at home. An opportunity to pick up a game in the American League wild card, with Oakland having lost in extra innings earlier today. Now the 2-2 again. Lays off, and it's a full count.
Pretty good eye not swinging at that pitch. Just off the plate, especially after the last at bat. You were called out on a fastball just off the outside corner.
81 pitches thrown by Quintana. Mentioned Ibar is on deck. You wonder if Marinez is coming into the game.
This could be his last batter here.
Now the 3-2. Trout bounces it foul. Quintana's ready. Another 3-2 on the way. A little bouncer foul. Payoff again, and he walked up. The bases are loaded for Eric Ibar. That may have been the last pitch that Quintana has thrown tonight.
And Mark Parent coming out, acting manager now that Robin Ventura has been thrown out of the game.
Marinez is ready to go on the pen. Let's see if Parent brings the hook. Now it's a matter of seeing what Quintana feels like and talking with A.J. Pierzynski and asking what kind of stuff he still has, if he can still get the big out here. And sure enough, it looks like they do trust the young man. And so Ibar will step up with the bases loaded and nobody out here in the fourth, and the Angels leading at 4-1. Ibar had a sac bunt and reached on the error by Quintana the first inning, also scored a run. And it was out in front on an off-speed pitch and popped out in the second. Tigers and the Twins will play a doubleheader tomorrow. They were rained out last night. Infield back at double play depth, and Ibar bounced the first one foul.
And Eric Ibar from this side of the plate coming in getting 338. And from the right side as compared to a 277 batting from the left side.
He's behind in the count at 0-1. Now it's 0-2. Ninth game that Ibar has batted in the 2 spot. He's done well in this spot so far. 15 for 32 in his first 8 games. A home run and 5 runs batted in. He's got Wells standing at third, IANNETTA at second, and Trout at first. One ball, 2 strikes. Outfield shallow for Chicago. Now the 1-2. He went around, 1 out. So 1 out here. That's the 3rd strikeout that Quintana has picked up tonight. And PUJOLS will come up. The infield will move back to double play depth.
Well, you got Ibar to chase a number of pitches in that sequence out of the strike zone, down and in.
Well, last plate appearance for Albert. Quintana got him on an off-speed pitch, and it popped out to shallow left. Ramirez, the shortstop, made the catch on. Base is still loaded. First one on the way. 1 ball, no strikes, and now Brzezinski's going to go out, talk things over. Angels tonight 3 for 7 with men in scoring position.
It's so important to get some runs across here. If you're PUJOLS and the Angels.
Albert with a double and an RBI in the first inning. Also came around to score. Now the 1-0 pitch. 1-1.
But a few of those breaking pitches down and in. 30 pitches thrown here in the 4th, 37 in the 1st.
Quintana's ready. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Brzezinski thought it was a strike and it just missed. And apparently somebody from the White Sox dugout has said something.
And Quintana didn't like that also. He felt he made a good pitch.
It's 2-1. The Angels have hit .314 with the bases loaded this year. 2 grand slams, Callaspo and Morales. Here comes the 2-1. Bouncer back toward the middle, knocked down by Quintana. He'll flip it to Brzezinski. They get the force out, 2 outs.
Right back up the middle, Quintana in position to knock it down. Fortunate enough he got a glove on it, because if that ball gets by him, trade it Beckham.
Now they're going to check on the youngster. Quintana will get a couple of pitches here. A long bottom of the fourth inning. A single by infield, single by Wells, a walk. Chris IANNETTA, a balk with runners at second and third. Trout walked to load him up, but then Ibar went swinging at the off-speed pitch, went down for the first out. And Albert just bounced back to the mound, and fortunately in and out of the glove and off the hand of Quintana. Otherwise, it's an inning-ending double play. So the Angels still with an opportunity. Bases loaded. 2 outs now. IANNETTA at third, Trout at second, and Pujols at first.
So often Torrey Hunter has come through with a base hit in these spots.
Torrey 1 for 2, an RBI single in the first inning, and then a ground out on the very first pitch he saw to third. Quintana working from the stretch still. There's the first one. Torrey bounces one to short. The Angels, with the bases loaded, nobody out, and get nothing out of it. We'll head to the fifth. The Halos still up 4-1. Barbecue burger with pulled pork on a cheeseburger. New at Carl's Jr. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T Rethink Possible. And by Dodge. Top of the fifth inning, the Angels with a 4-1 lead have had golden opportunities tonight. It just have not capitalized, so it's up to Dan Herron to go back out there and throw up another goose egg. He'll face the bottom third of the order here in the fifth for the White Sox. Viciedo, Ramirez, and Beckham.
Huge inning for Dan Herron. As the momentum shifts towards the White Sox after Quintana is able to get through that inning without allowing a run.
Viciedo looks at a strike. The White Sox left fielder is 0 for 1. He grounded out to Alberto Callaspo to end the second inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Herron looked like he stumbled a little bit at the first base side.
Tried to force and muscle up that fastball inside. More for show against Viciedo.
1-1. Oh, he got in his kitchen. Popped him up. Kendrick puts it away for the first out. Let's go back to our Hyundai key to the game.
Talked about another brick in the wall being that defense for the Angels, the starting pitchers. We talked about how they've been so effective since August 21st, leading the American League in wins, ERA. Dan Herron continuing that trend. So important for him to give some innings, quality innings for Mike Scioscia here tonight.
Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop, steps in, looks at a strike. Hit a fly ball to center field, leading off the third inning. So he is 0 for 1. 4 hits for Chicago, 6 for the Angels. 1-1. Aaron just threw his 59th pitch of the night. 41 have been strikes. 4 strikeouts, no walks. 1-2. Fouled that one off of his ankle. Good bite on that split finger pitch.
Oh, real good pitch. That one went straight down.
Two and two. Nate Jones is up and warming. 2-2 pitch just off the plate. A full count. Jones, the third reliever now that has been up and warming up in the bullpen for the White Sox. A full count on Ramirez with 1 out here in the 5th. There's the payoff. A jam shot flare, and Howie can't get it. It's a base hit. So man on, and Ramirez with Beckham coming to the plate.
Number 15, second baseman Jordan Beckham.
Beckham lined out to Eric Ibar in the third inning. 0 for 1.
Ramirez good speed at first. 17 stolen bases.
Ramirez takes off. The pitch is outside, a throw down, not close. Ramirez had a pretty good jump.
He's going even before Dan even gets into position to throw the baseball. No chance for IANNETTA to throw him out.
Man in scoring position now for the Sox with an out. 1-1. A little bit low. 2 balls and a strike. Couple of glances back. Beckham hits one out towards center field. Trout giving chase. And make the catch shy of the trap. 2 outs as Ramirez advances to third. That's pitching to the big part of the ballpark.
Utilizing that speed in the outfield of Mike Trout. Long way they had to hit the ball to center field. Live away on the outside part of the plate, challenge with a fastball.
So De Aza comes up, the leadoff man, who had a bunt single in the third inning. He's 1 for 2. Callaspo now playing in on the grass. 1 ball, no strikes. The leadoff home run against Irvin yesterday, his 9th of the year. Has 28 doubles and 6 triples on the season. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Or a nice pitch location down and in underneath the hands.
Especially where you got De Aza thinking he's going to get a fastball.
One and two.
And right back with the exact same pitch. That cut fastball down and in.
Throw him another one.
Have to. Take that chance. Trust your catcher. Be able to keep that baseball in front of him.
Just got a piece of it, keeps his at-bat alive. So the count remains at 1-2. The Angels with 4 runs in the first inning. Chicago with a run in the second. Ramirez standing over at third base with 2 outs. Bounce that one. Nice job by IANNETTA.
That's a tough pitch to be able to block, but it also gives you as a pitcher the faith that you could throw something in the dirt and get a potential swing and miss when your catcher blocks a pitch that far out of the zone.
Here's the 2-2. Popped him up. Middle of the infield. Eric Ibar and Howie Kendrick. Ibar with the call. The inning comes to an end. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning with the Angels leading it 4-1.
With the White Sox getting the momentum after Quintana was able to get through that inning without allowing a run, but Dan Herron solid. No walks, 4 punch-outs, and 5 innings pitched, just 1 run allowed.
And Quintana still in the ballgame facing Howie Kendrick. The first one is in for a strike. 94th pitch of the night for the left-hander. He'll face Kendrick, Callasmo, and Trumbo here in the 5th. Angels have stranded 6 men through 4 innings. This is foul on the first base side. And an 0-2 count on Howie, who's drawn a walk, stolen a base, scored a run, and singled. He's 1 for 1. Nate Jones, the reliever, just hanging out of the bullpen right now. He's ready to go if necessary. Chop towards short. Ramirez gets rid of it quickly, and there's the first out here in the 5th.
Well, we talked about that arm strength at the start of the game from Ramirez. Comes in on a slow chopper. You think that's going to be a base hit. Quickly with the transfer, that strong arm gets Howie. A tough play. Quick with the transfer, but extremely strong throwing arm.
One out, nobody on for Alberto Callaspo.
No movement in the head at all. He's kept his eye on the target as far as throwing to Konerko at first base. It's an excellent play by Ramirez.
Callaspo 1 for 2, had a base hit in the third. Bouncer to the left side, backhanded by Ramirez. 2 outs. You look back and you're sitting here in the 5th inning with 2 outs and he's at 100 pitches and you're wondering how in the world was he able to stay in this game, considering how that first inning played out. It could have been more, should have been more. That 3rd inning, instead of a 1st and 3rd 1-out situation, Callaspo ran into an out, then Trumbo struck out, and then of course bases loaded, nobody out in the 4th. As Mark swings through the first off-speed pitch, and it's 0-1.
Really, when you face a guy like Quintana who's going to try to stay down with movement, whether it's down and in or down and away, you have to try to think in terms the other way.
0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Trumbo's 1 for 2, a 2 RBI single in the first inning. That punch out that ended the 3rd. Chicago in the top of the 6th inning will have 2, 3, and 4 coming up in Youkilis, Dunn, and Konerko. One pitch. Broken bat, roller to short. Ramirez busy this inning. It's all 3 outs, and we'll head to the 6th inning with the Angels up 4-1.
Angels scoring 4 runs in the first inning, topped by Mark Trumbo's 2-run single to right field. Dan Herron's been very effective through 5 innings pitched, no walks, just 1 earned run and 4 punch-outs.
Kevin Youkilis to lead things off here against Dan Herron. The first one is down and away. Youkilis 1 for 2. Strikeout in the first, a single in the third. 4 punch-outs for Herron, 3 of which came in that first inning. 2 balls and no strikes. 76 pitches now thrown by Dan. 50 have been strikes. And allowed 5 hits tonight. Konerko got him for a home run leading off the second. Bounced off the foot. So 2 balls and a strike now on Youkilis. Three and one.
After that foul ball, Foot tried to run another two-seam fastball in.
Down in his kitchen here. That's rolled foul, so full count.
3 straight pitches inside on Youkilis. Game plan: fastballs in, cut fastballs away.
3-2. He walked him. So the leadoff man is on board. Now Adam Dunn will step up.
Number 32, designated hitter Adam Dunn.
Dunn has struck out twice, so he's 0 for 2. Halos overshift with 3 infielders on the right side. Ground ball should be a double play with Youkilis at first. Dunn in the batter's box. He looks at a fastball for a strike. Butcher starting to get on the phone. Really need Dan to get through this 6th inning. Oh, 1 pitch. Gonna miss. 0-2.
Well, a good cut fastball there. Adam Dunn has hit into 7 double plays this year. That's the type of pitch you can get a ground ball double play, jamming with that cutter.
Oh, 2 pitch. Takes inside. 1-2. Scrambling going on in the Angels bullpen. The Angels will start to get some action going. Looks like Troy Hawkins is up playing catch. Scott Downs is going to join in as well. The 1-2. Grounded toward the middle. That should be a double play. 6-5-3. The Taylor made double play.
Yeah, you can see that often when you're doing your box score. 6-5-3.
Number 14, first baseman.
Good feed by Ibar to Callaspo. What a huge double play.
So base is clear now for Konerko. Second double play the Angels have turned today. The other coming back into 4th off the bat of A.J. Brzezinski. Konerko 1 for 2 with that home run in the 2nd, his 24th of the year. Picked up his 70th run batted in. And a towering fly ball down the right field line in the 4th.
There's a GoPro camera down in the bullpen. You see Scott Downs and LaTroy Hawkins getting ready. We'll slow down mode with 2 outs now.
Good off-speed pitch, 1-1.
I was looking at the pitch counts over the last 7 games for Dan Hare, and he's thrown 100 pitches 1 game. Other than that, it settles in around 90 to 95 range for him. He's at 86 right now.
2 balls and 1 strike. There's a strike into the knees. Good fastball.
Great location.
Good location. Yep.
Yes, 89. He's top a couple pitches at 90 miles an hour today.
Two on the way. Grounder towards short. Ibar bobbles it. Konerko doesn't run that well. They still throw him out. The inning comes to an end. No runs, no hits, nobody left down. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. 4-1 Angels. Giving up that leadoff walk to Youkilis, and then getting a quick double play by Donovan and out by Konerko that he'll come back after the 7th.
Well, you know, and Dan, and I've had a lot of conversations with him over the years, and he's a guy that wants to complete a game. So he's very competitive. He feels he has a lot left in the tank here, especially when you saw those pitches to Konerko, and you mentioned Adam Dunn to get the ground ball double play.
Well, Nate Jones, the Kentucky native, takes over on the mound for Jose Quintana, pitching in his 60th game. 8-0 record, a 2.52 earned run average. He can rack up some strikeouts.
Yeah, he's got a fastball 94 to 99, slider, curveball, changeup. Straight over the top with his delivery.
Wells, IANNETTA, and Trout. The first one is a slider down and away. Wells, a walk and an infield base hit. 1 for 1. Bounce to short. That's 5 consecutive ground balls to short. 1 out.
We said he's a good arm, but we don't have to see it every play.
Yeah. Like, we get it already.
Yes.
IANNETTA's 0 for 1. Fielder's choice and a walk. Makes it a strike. Quintana this evening went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, walked 5, struck out 3, gave up 4 runs, only 1 earned. Is the error that he committed in the first inning. The sac bunt by Eric Ibar. So 6 hits, 5 walks. And the Angels managed 4 runs, 3 unearned runs.
Well, he battled, especially that 1 inning with bases loaded, no outs.
Robin Ventura ejected from the ball game in the 4th inning, arguing a balk call against Quintana.
And we thought when Mark Parent went out that one time that he was going to take him out, but he asked him how he felt, and boy, he was able to get through that inning with no runs allowed. There was no outs.
Walking Trout to load the bases with nobody out. Two 1 pitch, bouncer, and it's cut off by Kevin Youkilis. So a small moral victory for the Angels as Youkilis gets the out. Hey, hurry into your local Chevy dealer today and get a great deal on a brand new 2012 Chevy. Right now during Chevy Truck Month, you can take advantage of great pricing on a Silverado, Suburban, Tahoe, or Traverse. Hurry in while supplies last. So 2 outs and the base is clear for Mike Trout. He's 0 for 1 today, 2 walks, a strikeout, and a run scored. In case you're wondering, Miguel Cabrera for the Tigers today went 1 for 4s, batting .332. Trout chases a slider that is way off the plate. 0-2 count. Mike currently at .326. You got action of the bullpen as if maybe Herron doesn't start to 7. We'll see. Off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nick Mirande's the left-hander. Garrett Richards the right-hander. Called strike 3. The Angels go down in order. That's 7 in a row retired by White Sox pitching. 6 in the books. 4-1 Angels.
And by Southern California Toyota. Check out the full line of fuel-efficient vehicles at your Southern California Toyota dealer.
Top of the 7th, the Angels with a 4-1 lead. Alex Rios lead things off against Dan Herron, and the first one is a strike. Rios, Przinsky, and Viciedo for the White Sox here in the 7th. Richards and Miranda getting ready in the pen for the Angels. A 1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rios 1 for 2, a ground out and a base hit. One pitch. This was fly to the alley in left center field. Wells cuts it off, and Rios is on board with a leadoff single. Here comes Mike Scioscia. That's going to be it for Dan Herron. With Przinsky coming up. Left-handed batter stepping in. Nick Miranda will come into the ball game. Dan Herron is done here after 6 innings plus 1 batter. He departs with the Angels leading at 4-1. Dan Herron in the dugout with nobody out here in the 7th inning. Nick Miranda takes over on the mound to face A.J. Przinsky. 92 pitches for Dan, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. This game started off when he struck out, I should say, the side. Miranda comes in to face Przinsky with nobody out. A 4-1 Angels lead. More than likely just a 1-batter situation with a couple of right-handers due up after Przinsky. The first one is a fastball in for a strike. Przinsky tonight 0 for 2. He hit a fly ball to right field in the 2nd inning, rolled into a double play in the 4th.
And Randy with that good fastball, you see that first one at 93, can get it up there to 95. On with a good breaking pitch.
Just off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Two and 1. Miranda hasn't pitched in Sunday's game in Kansas City. So 1/3 of an inning in that one. All zeros. Two-one. This is hit down the line. Torrey giving chase toward the corner. That is going to be a fair ball. A double for A.J. Przinsky, puts runners at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. And like we said, it is going to be a 1-batter situation. Back to the bullpen we go. Garrett Richards will be coming on with nobody out, and now it's runners at second and third base. Still 4-1 Angels. Threatening here in the seventh. Runners at second and third and nobody out. Aaron will lead off single to Rios. Morande the ground will double to Brzezinski as we take a look at the Kia standings. The American League wild card. The Angels with a victory today would pick up a game on Oakland, who lost earlier this afternoon to the New York Yankees. But right now a big situation for Garrett Richards. Again, a couple of guys that can swing the bat, even though it's the bottom third of the order. Viciedo, Ramirez, Beckham all can drive the ball out of the ballpark. So Garrett's got to come in and throw strikes first and foremost. Although it looks like they're going to pinch hit for Viciedo. Dwayne Wise has come out to the on-deck circle.
Wise with real good speed.
Wise hitting .277 this season. 36th game with the White Sox. He was with the Yankees earlier this year. 8 home runs at 29 runs batted in. As Gilby pointed out, very good speed. 17 stolen bases. He's been caught just twice. The Angels playing back, looking for the out. They'll give up the run with Rios standing at third, Brzezinski at second. The first one is a breaking ball. In for a strike.
The one thing Richards can do for sure, if he stays within his mechanics, he can get a strikeout. Got a great moving fastball, anywhere between 94 to 97. Also a very good slider.
0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at 95 miles per hour. Viciedo ends the game going 0 for 2 with a ground out and a pop-up. 0-2 on the way. Swing and a foul tip at the plate. The count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. Good pitch out of the strike zone. Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop, is on deck. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball over to Howie. That'll bring home a run. Here's the first down here in the 7th.
And a very productive out for Wise. Not only gets a run in, but also gets Brzezinski over to third base with 1 out.
Number 10, shortstop, Alexei Ramirez.
Wise picks up the RBI. 1 out. Man at third base. Pujols playing in at first base, everyone else back at normal depth. Ramirez 1 for 2 with a fly ball to center and a single. That came in the 5th inning. Bouncer up the line. That hits the base runner. It's a foul ball. Brzezinski was in foul territory. So it's an 0-1 count on Ramirez.
Gets him on the leg, but in foul territory. If he's in play inside that line, that's going to be an out. Why, as a base runner down at third base, you want to make sure you stay away from that line.
Swing and a miss. Good location on that fastball. 0-2 count. Second baseman Gordon Beckham is on deck. 1 run in for Chicago. 4-2 Angels here in the 7th. Here comes the 0-2. Ground ball weakly hit toward third. Brzezinski holds. 2 outs.
Boy, great pitch. Good play by Callaspo, making sure Brzezinski is not going to go. Because he was able to jam Ramirez, he's not going to get out of the batter's box as quickly, so gave him some time. Ran that fastball in. Looked him back, made sure he wasn't going, and still get Ramirez because of the fact he jammed him so well.
IANNETTA about to talk things over with Garrett. 2 outs now. Brzezinski still at third. Beckham the batter. 0 for 2 today. He's lined out and hit a fly ball to center field. Dan Herron tonight. 6 innings plus a batter. 6 hits, including the home run at Konerko. 4 strikeouts, a walk, 2 runs, both earned. One ball, no strikes. Halos in the bottom of the 7th. We'll have 2, 3, and 4 coming up. They've not had a base runner since Pujols reached on the fielder's choice in the 4th, and that's when the Angels left the bases loaded. Bouncer toward short. Ibar comes charging in. Richards limits the damage to just a run. 7th inning stretch time here at the Big A, and the Angels with a 4-2 lead.
Good quality pitches in his 1-inning relief stint. This pitch right here, 0-2, runs a fastball in on Ramirez. Perfect place for it because it doesn't allow him to get out of the batter's box. See that slight stumble, ground ball to third, and then forced Brzezinski to stay there. Anywhere else, it's going to be a run scored in the infield, but because of that quality pitch, gets through the inning. It only allowed 1 run.
Wise stays in the ball game. He'll play center field. Alejandro De Aza moves over to left. Nate Jones, who came on in the 6th inning, had a 1-2-3 frame, still back out there. He'll face Ibar, Pujols, and Hunter here in the 7th. 4-2. Angels, all 4 runs coming in the 1st inning off Jose Quintana, 3 of them unearned. They've had plenty of other opportunities to score runs, but have not taken advantage of it. Ibar will drag that back to the mound, and Jones peeked out. And so Ibar will reach. Should be an error on Nate Jones.
Had plenty of time to make the play, but looked up to first base right away. Didn't look it into the glove. That's twice now. Ibar's been on base with an error made by a pitcher.
So Albert will step in. He's 1 for 3, an RBI double in the 1st. Good lead for Eric at first base. And the first one's in the dirt. Brzezinski knocks it down. Well, you figure that even with Albert up as Brett Myers gets ready, Ibar got to be taking off at some point. Get himself in a scoring position.
Yeah,
that would have been a good pitch.
Definitely. Go
secondary lead. You
got
to
force the issue here. Yeah. You haven't scored since the 1st inning. Jones allowed 3 stolen bases in 4 attempts.
1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Challenging with a fastball at 99.
He does have a good fastball, but you can tell by his arm action it's going to take a little bit more time to deliver that baseball. So as a base stealer, you had a good chance to get a good jump against him.
26 years of age, 5th round pick by the Sox in 07 out of Northern Kentucky University. Albert backs out at the plate. First taste of big league life this year. Here's the 1-1. It's a short armor approach, almost like a converted catcher.
So it's going to take some time to deliver the baseball.
Covington, Kentucky, just on the other side of the road. Cincinnati. We'll be at Cincinnati to open up the regular season next year. Ground ball to short. Ramirez to Beckham. And the first is in time as Ibar takes out Beckham, a double play ball. 2 outs and nobody on now for Torrey Hunter. As we were talking about, 2-1 count. You figure at some point Ibar would be taking off, but it's a double play. And here comes Torrey. At times, this team can. You come to the ballpark and you see stolen base after stolen base, first to third, hit and runs, and then other times in situations where you think you should be doing it or you would expect it to happen, nothing happens. All of a sudden, the anchor gets dropped at first base.
And a lot of those base runners are given the green light by Mike Scioscia. I know with Albert Pujols up at one time, you want to think in terms of letting him get a swing, but that doesn't matter. If you're at scoring position, it's better to have Pujols in that spot.
Well, we'll head to the 8th with the Angels up 4-2.
Over game summary, Dan Herron started off exceptionally well, striking out the side in the first inning. One of his 4 punch-outs. Good fastball, good split finger fastball working. And Torrey Hunter in the first inning drives in a run. Later on in that first inning, Mark Trumbo 2 on in scoring position, base hit in the right, scoring 2 more, giving the Angels a 4-0 lead at that point. Now we're settled in at a 4-2 Angel lead here in the top of the 8th, with Scott Downs taking over now for Garrett Richardson, who did a nice job out of the bullpen.
Hey, Garrett goes 1 inning, got 3 big ground outs. 1 run came across, but that run got charged to Herron as Rios scored. He was on with the leadoff single in the 7th. Scott Downs to face the top of the order now. Diaza, Youkilis, and Dunn. A lefty, a righty, and then a lefty. Kevin Jepson warming up the bullpen as well. Four runs for the Angels in the first. The White Sox with solo runs in the 2nd and 7th innings. Alejandro Diaza 1 for 3 tonight. A single bunt base hit in the 3rd inning. Breaking pitch, bounce foul, an 0-2 count. Scott got into the game last night, went 1/3 of an inning as he struck out Adam Dunn to end the 8th inning. Oh, 2 on the way. He started his swing, but then held up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The game in Seattle is a final, 1-0. Blake Bevitt
had that sinker working tonight.
That was a pretty good battle. Matt Harrison got the start for Texas, but the Rangers lost 2 in a row. They continue to struggle against the Seattle Mariners, especially in Seattle.
Tough one to be able to figure out.
Here's the 1-2. Popped up third base side and into the seats she goes. The count remains at 1-2. So Oakland, even with the loss tonight, stays 4 games back in the American League West. They've got 1 more with New York. The A's do tomorrow afternoon. And then a 4-game series in Arlington beginning on Monday.
Boy, and Oakland had a 3-run lead in the, they were scoring 3 in the top of the 13th. Willing to give up that lead and then eventually lose on a weird ground ball with the bases loaded in the 14th.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Diaza. There's out number 1 to start the 8th. Hey, subscribe to MLB.tv today. You can still take advantage of the new low pricing, and you can see every remaining Angels out-of-market games live online in HD quality. Visit Angels.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. 1 out, nobody on for Kevin Youkilis, the third baseman. A strike on the inside corner that Youkilis doesn't like. That's Angel Hernandez know about it. Two runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, 4 left on for the Sox. 4 runs, 6 hits. 6 left on for the Angels. One ball, 1 strike. On the Angels' offensive front, it's been all quiet since the 4th inning. From a bases loaded, no out situation, that has been it. 1 base runner since then. That was Ibar reaching on the error by Jones. This one's bounced over to third base. 2 outs.
A nice pitch by Downs. Jam Youkilis. Another ground ball out.
So 2 outs, bases clear for Adam Dunn. Serving as a DH tonight. Twice has struck out. He's also grounded into a double play. 0 for 3. Oh, and 1.
The Angels have gotten 11 ground ball outs in this game. The pitching staff has. A nice job as far as changing speeds, keeping the ball down in the strike zone.
It's a big sweeping breaking pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got done on that pitch last night in the 8th inning.
One on the way. Bouncer foul. 1-2. Just in front of Harold Baines, the first base coach for the White Sox.
He was a hitting machine.
Did he stand the farthest away from the plate than anyone ever?
Ever.
That you faced?
Yes. I thought that whole outside part of the plate was mine every time. And in the first 2 pitches or so it was, by the 3rd pitch it was a line drive back up the middle.
Here's a 1-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Dunn. A 1-2-3 inning for Scott Downs. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Halos still on top. Inning, the big right-hander Brent Myers takes over on the mound, pitching in his 29th game. As a member of the White Sox, came over to trade with the Houston Astros earlier this year. 2-3 mark, a 3.46 ERA.
Fastball 90 to 94. He will throw a 2-seam fastball to sink it. Good slider, curveball, changeup.
Howie Kendrick to lead things off. First pitch swinging, a ground ball to guess who? 1 out.
I know I'm not putting it into defense tomorrow.
You got to total that up. How many for Ramirez?
Now you count that line drive at him. And a double play ball.
Yeah.
Very busy. I'm going to highlight the DH tomorrow on the defense.
Did you highlight Alexi today?
Yes, I did. It's a bad decision by me.
Well, stay hot. Aspa takes outside. Alberto's hit a fly ball to left. He is single. Then he has grounded out to none other than Alexi Ramirez. Gooby's fielding star of the game.
Well, Alberto tightened me up too, though. I had him on the defense side for the Angels.
Yeah.
Nice play against Ramirez on that jam shot. Keep Brzezinski at third base.
Nice try. He's got 3 ground ball out. Break bounce foul.
It's all about the effort.
Yeah. White Sox in the 9th inning, by the way, will have Konerko, Rios, and Brzezinski coming up. 4, 5, and 6. Ernesto Frieri is warming up in the bullpen. There's Ernesto. Alberto walking it off right now. Took the foul ball. The old Mitch Kupchak. Alberto still trying to shake it off. And now the 1-2. This is lined toward right center field. Coming on is Wise. He can't get it. It falls in for a hit. Callaspo is trying to get into second base, and he is in there, showing no signs of that foul tip bothering him.
He was just lulling the defense asleep. That's what he was doing. Put all 4 corners on him. Dean Smith. Off the end of the bat. Flared into the outfield, and Wise tried to cut it off. Unable to do so off his body and away from Rios, allowing Callaspo to get in scoring position.
Trumbo looks at a fastball for a strike right down the middle. Mark 1 for 3, a 2 RBI single in the first. Alberto gets credit for a double, 17th of the year. Breaking pitch upstairs. It is 1-1.
Big insurance run out there for the Angels, and Mark Trumbo had a big base hit in the first inning, a 2-run single to right field.
Lays off the breaking ball. 2-1. Trumbo with those 2 RBIs in the first inning now. With 89 on the year. There's a 2-1. Fastball for a strike. Trumbo doesn't like the call. Thought that pitch was down low. Neither does Mike Scioscia.
Well, it certainly didn't go in the strike zone when Brzezinski caught it. Well, had some serious sinking action. But again, it's when it crosses the plate.
Breaking pitch bounced toward third. That is a foul ball. So the count remains at 2-2 with 1 out here in the 8th inning. Callaspo standing at second. Vernon Wells is on deck. Brook inbound, a little roller toward the bag at second base. Beckham has it, fires to first. They got him at first. And Hickox brings up Trumbo. And from here, kind of looked like he may have beaten it, but he gets rung up for the second out.
Well, that's a tough play for Beckham, and Trumbo going down the line quickly. Had a couple of tough plays tonight, Beckham. Just got him.
Yep, sure did. Nice job by backup two to field that ball just before it got to the bag. I saw that last night.
Hit that base, especially the way that ball was rolling.
So man at third, 2 outs now. Wells takes a pitch and clanks off the glove of Przinsky. It's 1 ball, no strikes. One and one. Breaking pitch down the line, but foul.
Vernon with a couple shots just fouled down the left field line out in front of those all-speed pitches.
A ball and 2 strikes. Down and in, 2-2. One out double by Cayasco, advancing to third on the ground out by a Trombone. Vernon trying to bring home a little insurance run. Otherwise, the Angels will head to the ninth with a 2-run lead, and Frieri coming on to try to close it out. 2-2. Breaking pitch got him. The inning comes to an end. We will head to the ninth. It'll be Konerko, Rios, and Przinsky to face Ernesto Frieri with the Angels up 4-2.
Gavin Floyd 10-10 with an ERA 4.50 versus Jared Weaver 18-4 with an ERA 2.79. Gavin Floyd has struggled throughout his career versus the Angels. Is 2-5 with an ERA over 5, while Weaver 6-2 in his career with an ERA 1.61 against the White Sox.
Well, we start this ninth inning with the Angels owning a 2-run lead. It is 4-2 Halos. Ernesto Frieri on to try to close this one out. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Sox. Ernesto pitching in his 50th game, and he has been in a little bit of a funk of late. Gave up the home runs in Kansas City and struggled the other night as well once again.
And part of the reasons you can be successful as a closer, you got to forget what happened in the past. Command the strike zone with your fastball and utilize your slider. Frieri's got a good one, but he's got to get ahead of the count and locate his fastball well.
The slider that he gave up the home run to Beltre on was a kind of a get it over breaking pitch. Does have that hard slider that he likes to throw as well. Konerko steps in, 1 for 3. He homered in the second off of Dan Herron. The fastball is a strike on the outside corner. And Konerko doesn't like that call from Angel Hernandez. But to whether it's a strike or not, at least Hernandez has kept that part of the plate as a strike call on both sides of the ledger tonight. This is popped up. Albert Pujols near first base. 1 out. Konerko fired that bat after he popped out all the way to the on-deck circle. Almost clipped Rios. Unhappy with that first pitch strike. 1 out in the books here in the 9th inning. And here comes Rios, the right fielder.
Jammed them, popped them up. You're not real happy with that first pitch being called a strike.
Rios looks at a fastball that should have been a strike, or has been a strike, or at least it was on Konerko. I take back what I said about Angel Hernandez. Not good. 1 ball, no strikes. Rios 2 for 3 tonight with a couple of singles and a run scored. Foul tip, 1-1.
A good fastball, good velocity there for Frieri. 97.
There's the 1-2. Got him to reach for that one, fouls it off to the right. A.J. Przinsky is on deck. 1-2. Line to right. 3-hit game for Alex Rios. It'll bring up the tying run.
That was a good approach. We talked about the adjustments Rios has made this season as far as his hands being higher up, shorter stride. It's going the other way.
First one to AJ. Big swing and a miss. That's a pretty big swing by the White Sox catcher, who's 1 for 3, doubled off Nick Miranda in the 7th. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
That's where you want to stay. You want to utilize a bigger part of the field. Stay away from Przinsky. His power is to right field, to right center on the inner half of the plate. The fastball away again.
0-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Przinsky. 2 down.
Boy, great location. Stayed away with movement, lateral movement. That's that lateral movement we've seen so often from Ernesto.
Wise at the plate. Rios takes off, a swing and a miss. An 0-1 count as Rios advances into scoring position on a difference. Fouled off. So the Angels 1 strike away of picking up a game in the wild card standings. A win tonight would put them at 2.5 back. And with an opportunity to go for a sweep tomorrow afternoon with Jared Weaver looking for his 19th win of the season. Wise asking for time. It's an 0-2 count. He was a pinch hitter in the 7th and grounded out and picked up an RBI. 0-2 on the way. This one's fouled back. 41,440 in the house. Angels looking for their 83rd win of the season. Dan Herron tonight. 2 runs, both earned. 6 innings plus 1 batter, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, and a walk. Another 0-2. Little looper, not to shallow left. Eric Ibar's there. Light that baby up as the Angels make it 2 in a row against the Sox. This one by the final of 4-2.
What a huge victory, scoring 4 runs in the first and letting that hold up. Dan Herron was outstanding. The bullpen for Mike Scioscia, very solid. Garrett Richards, 3 ground ball outs. Scott Downs did a great job, and then Ernesto getting his 20th save this year. Huge victory. This is going to get fun now. Pick up a game on Oakland now. It's 2.5 back in the wild card race.
Dan Herron picks up the win, his 12th of the season. Jose Quintana took the loss for the White Sox. He is now 6-5, and there's the standings in the wild card. Don't forget about Tampa Bay. They won big tonight, too, against the Toronto Blue Jays. They pick up a game. The Tigers won as well, so they pick up a game. But the Tigers, more importantly, move within a half game of the American League Central. They will play a doubleheader against the Minnesota Twins tomorrow afternoon at Comerica Park. The Angels will send Jared Weaver to face Gavin Floyd in the finale of this 3-game set tomorrow afternoon. It is Fan Appreciation Day tomorrow. Remember, that's a 12:35 start here at the Big A. The Angels with 4 runs in the first inning, 3 of which were unearned on Jose Quintana. And the Angels made it hold up as Mark Trumbo had an opportunity to help out the Angels offense. A big single with a couple of runs batted in, and Mark's kind enough to join us. And Mark, I know that coming off the series that we just did against the Texas Rangers, we asked Torrey about it last night, that it's big to come into this series, and you see on the scoreboard that the Oakland A's have lost in extra innings. You had a chance to pick up a game for this team to come out there and fight early on, establish the early lead, and kind of make it hang on and have the bullpen step up.
It was just a really good game all the way around. We noticed that they did lose earlier today, but we went out there and took care of business when we needed to. A couple big hits, really good pitching, and a nice win overall. Yeah,
Mark, you mentioned big hits. You had that big hit in the right field. You had 2 guys in scoring position. You let that baseball travel and hit that ball extremely well to right field.
Yeah, he came in, but I kept my hands in, which is what I've been one of the things I've been working on recently. So that was good, and give us a little bit of momentum and Dan a little bit of a cushion.
Now, how good does it feel for you to see this ball club trying to kind of still claw things out? It's very easy to look at the standings and sit there and say it's going to be an uphill battle, but it seems like every day these guys in this clubhouse come out here looking for a win and trying to win every single ball game. Obviously, you need to right now, but there's a lot of fight in this clubhouse.
Yeah, he took the words right out of my mouth. We do have a ton of fight left in us. We got a lot of pride. That's what each and every guy. We're going to fight this thing out to the bitter end. You don't have to worry about that. So, we're going to give it what we have, and we'll see what happens.
Mark, you mentioned Dan Herron. He threw the ball exceptionally well. It starts off the game by striking out the sides, and you guys come right back and score 4 in the bottom of the first. Talk about his performance.
Yeah, things like that pump us up. Great first inning. And great job getting ground balls when he needed to. Split finger was nasty tonight, And he worked quick innings, and that gives the offense a chance to stay in a good rhythm, and it's exactly what you want.
Well, Mark, as always, we appreciate the time.
Thanks, guys.
Mark Trumbo, kind enough to join us. Big 2 RBI single in that first inning. The Angels cap the scoring with 4 runs in the first, and they make it hold. Stand up, I should say, as Dan Herron picks up his 12th win of the season. 4-2 the final. Stick around, Michael Leaves. Garrett Anderson along with Jose Mota will break it all down on Angels Live post-game edition coming up next.